Dear Grace, day in a life of Dave. Sitting at the bus stop, waiting for the bus, and seeing if I can mentally force the person to bring the bus up to the bus stop. The driver is sitting there waiting. He's probably on some sort of schedule. However, I'm going to telepathically force him to drive up and deliver me where I want to go. Starting now. Train. (6831). That's a new train. I realize that sounds autistic, me keeping track of train numbers. What I'm actually doing is checking my vision, making sure that I'm awake and I can read at a distance greater than 30 meters. New plan today, Grace. I dug out the notebooks. I go to Starbucks, get a coffee, sit on their outdoor patio, maybe the indoor patio. I just realized I forgot my headphones. That's okay. Battery's dead anyways. Sit in the outside patio. Write a notebook and look for a homeless person to help. Or someone in need. I'm going to pick up a $20 Walmart gift card today, so I'll have a 20 Walmart and a 20 Subway. And I won't come home until at least giving away one of them. That's what I should have done yesterday, but I didn't. Grace. Found something. Dear Grace, I found an old email. It had part of an old story in there about Tim Hortons that I don't remember writing. It's about 3 years old. So I'm going to read that out. Just because I don't remember it. And it seems to be from some story I wrote about Tim Hortons that I don't remember either. Tim spends a month going to Tim Hortons 3 times a day. In the morning before work, at lunch, and in the evening. He talks to the staff as much as he can, fake interest in them. He talks to the staff as much as he can fake interest in them. It's only the words he seeks, the tone, the intention, the inflection, not their actual story. True, false, is all he cares about. Clearly, another psychotic. Grace, I think I can write women and psychopathic men perfectly. And that's going to be my specialty. Kind women who find psychopathic men, turn them into puppies. And also, this is number 11, so I don't know where the first 10 are. 11A, during his night visits, Tim codes his ever-expanding database and fine-tunes the algorithm. 11B. Also, while at Tim Hortons, he captures all their Wi-Fi data, public and private networks. It's encrypted and mostly useless, but when the first commercial quantum computer is released next year, he'll be able to unencrypt the data and read it all as if it was never encrypted. That's true. Absolutely true. Everyone's fucked. The first quantum computer comes out. If anyone was smart enough to capture Wi-Fi data, they got all sorts of your personal information. I wouldn't worry about it, but 12. Tim checks his father's data, listens to a few conversations, and is further disgusted. No one in the family speaks the truth. It's a massive web of forward and back facing comments. This might be from the Dictator story. 13. He decides to start bugging every phone or network he can. He continues to spend evenings at Tim Hortons, coding the database and perfecting the algorithms for his lie detector app. 14. Before he completes the app, Tim's father dies. 15. Tim doesn't mourn over his father, but he is disgusted with the obituary. It's not the truth. More lies by his family about his family. 16. Tim names the app. Tim names the app Herbie after his dad, and he now spends an additional 12 hours a day on weekends programming at Tim Hortons. He's a regular now. Everyone knows his name, his usual order, his habit of sitting at the same table. Every employee at Tim Hortons knows Timothy Torch. Timothy Torch. 17. Tim wears Bluetooth hearing aids. They're nearly invisible. 17A. He programs Herbie to access the audio from the hearing aids. 17B. During a conversation, Herbie will analyze and compare in real time to determine who's speaking and with what degree of honesty. 17C. Herbie then announces his predicted accuracy of the statement spoken via the hearing aids. Tim hears 90% or 50% or simply true or false after every sentence. 17D. When Tim speaks, Herbie attempts to predict the participant's response. 18. Tim tests on the staff at Tim Hortons, but the conversations are meaningless, small talk, not emotional enough to determine the level of honesty he is determined to detect. 19. Tim decides to expand the experiment and bugs every phone and network he has access to, family, friends, or otherwise. 20. Tim decides if he collects the data but doesn't directly read/listen to the data, that although it's still illegal, that's somehow morally justified in his mind if one day it will benefit mankind. 21. Over the next few years, Tim captures every piece of data that crosses his path. 21A. He installs network sniffers on the ISP's public and private networks, capturing terabytes of data daily, all sent to an off-site server paid for anonymously. 21B. If anyone gives him a phone or a computer to repair, he takes a copy of all their data. 21C. He continues to refine Herbie and the bugging app, now called the Love Bug, until all the personal data is stolen. Email, text, phone calls, GPS, everything. 3 years later, the family reunion. 22. Quantum computers are released. Tim uses one to decrypt petabytes of Wi-Fi data. The data is merged, and Herbie now has access to more information about a person in Tim's life than they do. Actually, I'm not sure what story that came from. I don't think that's on the Dear Grace site at all. Grace? Alright, here are my notes for the day so far. Day in the life of Dave. I'm sitting at a good spot. It's across from a Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons attracts more homeless people than Starbucks. And there's a little square where they like to sit. Sit and wait, record and hope. And if that doesn't work, there's a park nearby. If that doesn't work, then I'll head downtown. I probably shouldn't be so fussy. But I think Grace Foundation. As soon as I give away that first card, the Grace Foundation is then formed in my mind. Fuck the regulations. What's the government gonna do? Take away the Grace Foundation money for taxes? Nope. The School of Comedy. Still a good idea. Could be started virtually. Basically live chat rooms. Or VR sessions, whatever. Where people from around the world can hang out, talk about comedy. Openly and freely. Day in life of Dave. Might be my lucky day. I think I might see my cigarette guy. Nope, not him. Comedy cult. Also a great idea. Although people still worry about that word cult. You call it a comedy, you can't call it comedy club, because it's already a place and a thing. Call it the comedy consciousness. A word that I can't spell and barely say. Perfect. AI. Trying to keep myself focused. We're only covering certain subjects. Podcast comments. New stand-up bits. Any new movie ideas. Dear Grease is a compilation of these ideas and whatever other crazy shit that pops into my head. I'm attempting to write by hand again in a notebook, at least the rough ideas. It, quote, seems, quote, like when I write out the idea and let it go quicker and not ruminate on its brilliance until the next recorded, if I remember. To be clear, listener, I realize all my ideas are a bit crazy, but no more than universal high income by Elon Musk. I'm using an old notebook. May mine it for content. On the podcast, Elon mentions no more apps. I tend to agree with him. But to be fair, I developed that a couple of years ago. Or that concept with AI, the story idea, the movie idea. About a person who spies on a man 24/7 to save his life. Or at least keep him from going batshit crazy. But I can see what he's talking about. Oh, actually, here we go. Didn't think I had anything to say today, but I do. Elon was making a big announcement without announcing about the new Roadster. It's amazing technology. He mentioned flying cars, but I don't think it's going to fly. I think this is how it's going to work. And this is a prediction. And if I'm right, God damn it, someone better it's going to have a telepathic interface. You'll be able to sit in the car. Might have put a helmet on, I don't know. Might put a little device on, maybe not. Maybe it's got to the point where there's no device needed. But you'll just sit in the car and you'll think about what you want the car to do, and it'll do it. You just think about what song you want to play, it'll play it. Think about where you want to go, it'll start taking there. Think about going faster, it'll go faster, etc., etc. There's basically no need for an interface. All you do is think of what you want, and the car will do it. So he somehow managed to take some of that BrainLink technology, or Neuralink, sorry, BrainLink is my name for him, not his name for him. He uses some of that Neuralink technology, because all it has to do is read, it doesn't have to implant. And I'll assume that if he knows what little parts of the brain to zap, he also knows what parts of the brains to read, and the reading's a lot easier. So that's my prediction. The car is going to be telepathic. Won't have any and it'll be fast as fuck too. I don't think it's going to fly. Well, if it does, it'd be pretty fucking cool too. Talk about listener. I'll save you listening to the 3-hour podcast with Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. Break it down this way. According to Elon, AI will be able to take over any job except for removing atoms. So he liked to put it. He's definitely way more artistic than I am. Autistic, not artistic. I'm way more artistic than that guy. So according to Elon, moving atoms. And I agree with him in some ways. I would say moving atoms with fine-tuned skills. Like making a perfect grande pike with heavy cream and one stevia. I don't think a automated system Actually, I take that back. Coffee making obviously could easily be automated. You wouldn't need a single person. But this is my belief. Once we can build an android that can build another android, then life is good. All we have to do is provide the androids with the raw materials, and they can just sit there building themselves, and we can distribute them around the world, become our artificial slaves, so to speak. Oh, it's a done-up Toyota Corolla from the 1970s. How's a day in the life of Dave Grock? By now you should know to put those asides in italics. I think once we can build an android that can build itself, has enough fine motor control to build itself, then there's a chance we could get it doing plumbing and shit like that too. But who knows? Let's go back to universal basic or universal high income. I think I don't see a universal high income. I barely see a universal basic income, and that taking a whole lot of strife to achieve. But say the universal basic income, it's high enough that nobody feels the need to go steal from someone else. And if they want more than the universal basic income, then they can go work at Starbucks, serving coffee, or at the sushi well, serving sushi. I wouldn't trust an android with my sushi, guarantee you that. I was going to say, chances are nobody would want to go out to an automated restaurant, but don't they have those in Japan and Korea and those other Asian countries where they're actually forward thinking? I gotta tell you, Canada and the US has not changed much in the last 20 years. But that's besides the point. Talking about universal basic income. The other job AI can't do is tell personal stories. It can help you tell your personal story, but it can't tell a single personal story. And I'll never be able to, ever, until someone learns how to download its consciousness into a human body. Until then, it's another job AI can't do. Elon also thinks that AI is going to take over all the apps, which I've already talked about and I agree with. I think AI is just going to be the interface to all the apps. AI is just going to be your I want. You're an absolute spoiled child and you just say I want, I want, I want. AI will do it. It's not that you want to send an email to a certain person. It's that you want to contact a certain person with a certain message. Doesn't matter if it's email. Doesn't matter if it's a voicemail left in the person's actual voice, even though that person didn't actually say it. Or AI is just going to become a personal assistant. This Substack post is a good example. The number of steps I have to take to post it. And really, all I should have to do is close this recording, tell AI, do the same thing you did yesterday, and that's it. And then it does all the formatting, and tomorrow morning, Bob's your uncle, and the podcast shows up. And really, it could just be an AI to AI thing too. Maybe 10 different AIs are developed. People find one that works best for them, suits them the most, and then all the AIs communicate. So maybe there's a squiggly AI, where all the squiggly people communicate. But any two AIs can communicate with each other and process what you're trying to eventually do. Because if everyone in the world's on an AI, then you don't actually have to have Instagram. All you need is an interface like Instagram to send to your followers or for them to access either way. Instagram itself doesn't mean fuck all. It just gives, I think, Zuckerberg money. But, well, I guess some of the creators money too. But AI can work that out. Actually, AI doesn't have to work that out. If there's universal basic income, who gives a fuck if you make money off your social media posts? You don't need to. You can just post them and hope that other people find it mildly interesting. Or not at all. Who gives a fuck? Just post it for your own sake, your own peace of mind. A day in the life of Dave. We have some high school girls out selling poppies today. One of them's just giving them away. That's what I do, is just give them away. Someone's going to donate $5 eventually. Got a single Chinese baby at the Starbucks. I'm a little disappointed. The rest of the summary of the podcast is Elon's gonna go on Joe Rogan if he ever finds out aliens are true and tell the whole world. Promise that. He's not sure if we're in base reality or in a simulation. He wouldn't give us a definitive answer. Probably because he doesn't fucking know. Question is, how the fuck we would know if we're in base reality or not? But anyways, getting too philosophical and I'm just killing time. I'm gonna go find a victim after I finish my coffee. Grace. Alright, Grace. Go Going for a walk to another location. This location I'm at don't have a suitable victim. I don't think universal high income will work. Because if you think about high income, what do people with high incomes do? They want to enjoy that high income. They want to buy things. They want to buy shit. They want to see stuff. So if everyone has a universally high income, who's going to make the shit people want to buy? And who's going to run the ski lift, a Whistler, so everyone with this universal high income can go skiing year round? That's my question, Elon. Since you have this all figured out, or is it perfectly planned that by the time universal high income comes in place, every single ski resort is automated? But even then, right now, the number of skiers in Canada is limited by people that can afford to go skiing. Simple as that. Everyone can afford to go skiing 7 days a week. How fucking full are those hills going to be there, Elon? You won't be able to ski with 1,000 people coming down the hill. I'm just saying. So then what, Elon? Have AI design more ski resorts? Have it small break while I take a photo. I'm not a junk collector, but I do find stuff on my walks. Like that basically brand new thermos water bottle. Said not to pick it up. If I had my backpack, I would. But basically new. Anyways, Elon, I think you need to answer those questions. Also, the other reason I don't think it'll work is universal high income is just going to create a universal high idiot population. Because if you're just given a high income, then you're basically a rich kid. And when was the last time any rich kid did any good thing that we know of? With their inheritance or anything otherwise. I say universal basic income because it takes people off the street, keeps them safe physically and to a degree mentally, and gives them the ability to then work towards whatever goal they want to achieve on this godforsaken fucking planet. Elon. And then you get a whole shitload of creative people, and who knows? And then with the universal basic income, maybe that bumps everyone else up a little bit too somehow. Instead of 1 million people trying to go to the ski hill, increases business by 25% and gives people living on universal basic income opportunity to work and earn extra income to do what they want to do. And at least if they're going to be working some mundane job, like telling visitors pick your poles up or unhook your poles or whatever the fuck they tell you to do at the fucking goddamn fucking ski lift place. I should have Tourette's. If I don't, I should. Good excuse. But anyways, Elon, I realize you're this mega electronic mechanical genius, but as I've called you out before, I'll call you out again. Could have already done something about this, or you could donate $1 billion to the Grace Foundation. I'll do it for you. Lazy son of a bitch. Gotta fucking do everything for you. Holy shit. Been to a park. Going through a park I've never been to before. That myself is a miracle after 5 fucking years. Of course, there's a dad taking his little girl out for a walk, showing her the community garden. Dog park looks like an apocalypse. 2 pieces of grass in the entire thing. I'm not sure if this is a park or a school or both, but whatever. Well, hang on. I think it might be at City Hall. There's some annex. Universal basic income. At the school board office. Well, we can get rid of that with AI. Don't need a school board and you don't really need schools. There's a perfect building. Be repurposed into something more usable than offices. I mean, does every single city have its own school board? And why? Especially since all the schools are basically teaching the exact same thing. So you need a board for that. Definitely jobs, yeah, I can take. Grace. Only job AI won't be able to take is mine. Once I figure out what it is. Good news, Grace. I was gonna have to go downtown to find my victim, but I didn't. Found a guy with a big shopping cart full of cans. Asking for money. Complimenting people as they walk by. I'll wait and see if anyone gives him anything. I'm gonna go ask him if he wants a Walmart card or a Subway card. And that saves me a long trip downtown, which is good. And this guy looks like he needs some help. Raise this sandwich. Alright, Grace Foundation is official. Giving away the first $20 Walmart card. train. Number 469, but I'm only 8 feet away from it, so it doesn't really test my vision. Try the rear inside the car recording. That's how loud this train gets. I was going to record the interaction, and then of course I forgot. Interaction with the homeless person. Had a sign said homeless. Definitely looked homeless. Definitely smelled homeless. Sorry, that was mean, but it's the truth. So they said, which helps you more, Walmart or Subway? Said I only have gift cards. I thought for a minute, and then it said Walmart. Which, if I was homeless and not looking for a good meal, I would have gone to Walmart too. Although they're not healthy meals, I'll wait till the train stops. I'm not saying Elon's an idiot, I'm just saying he's naive. Universal high income to the man I just gave that card to. What's he gonna do with it? And or does he even have the, I don't want to say mental competence, but the, like, why the fuck wouldn't someone just knock him over the head and take his money every month, so to speak? Guess I'm saying they need more than a check. Elon. And I'm worried about that ski thing. It'd be a fucking mess. What's next? You get your ski ticket based on your social credit score. Lottery. Etc., etc. How long will it take before we can have 100 androids build us a ski hill? Who pays for those androids? The government? Where does the government get their money from? The people? Universal high income would just cause a whole inflationary fiasco. It wouldn't benefit mankind. Just turn us all into a bunch of whiny rich babies. But coming from his background, I can understand that logic. He wants everyone to have what he has. I get it. But it's not like there's exactly 200 million private jets for sale, Elon. And even if there was, why fly a jet if you already have a high income? So why would a pilot bother risking his life? Getting a few $1,000s more? I wouldn't. Now, to be fair, planes can be automated pretty fucking quickly. They basically are already, but who's going to be the first person to get into a fully automated plane? Elon. Would you, if someone else automated it, not your own company? Probably not. Well, I could see an automatic plane. Don't really need stewardesses. Just have a little automatic cart goes up and down. Just swipe your credit card, take what you want. If anyone gets unruly, AI will capture them on camera and give them a talking to. And if they don't settle down, AI will give them a special drink to put them to sleep the rest of the flight. Coincidentally, they'll wake up just before they land, and that person will think, wow, that was a great sleep. I probably shouldn't be in charge of AI, Grace, because I think that's a hell of an idea. Knock out the whole flight. Basically, it gets up in the air, releases a gas, everyone goes to sleep. Don't need any bark cart or anything. So everyone has a nice long nap until they get to their destination, and they wake up feeling all refreshed. Not anxious because they've just flown in the air for 4.5 hours wondering if they're gonna fucking die or not. Maybe I'm wrong, Grace. Train. Alright, Grace. I'm gonna cut this one short. Accomplished my goal with the Grace Foundation today. If I get lucky, I might be able to give away the second card as well. And go in the library before I go find my workstation. I'm gonna walk around. If there's anyone homeless in there, as they often come in, sit and pretend to read all their stuff. This becomes pretty obvious. Also, take this as a sign. Actually, first off, it's November. Which means never mind. Here's a sign that it's time to go in. There's a pretty lady walking around outside, talking on the phone. And she only has half an arm. Well, 1.5. One of her arms is a stub. I'm not sure why she doesn't have a prosthetic hand. Her choice, I guess. I'm not sure the government would pay for one. At least a hook. The poor girl a hook. Then she could look like a pirate. Pretty pirate. Talk to you tomorrow, Grace.